This is when Brazier, I believe Chris has been doing his best work in this fight. And he's gone hard with that left hand on the turn and down. Christie wiping away the blood over the left and the right lands the right hand and down goes Anthony Holmes flat on his back. Christie on the right hand, left hand. Back to the half high bump goes round. He's landing clean. Left hand, huge left hand, and down goes David Round.
That was a nasty combination. They caught him right on the button.
Rakcna administering the mandatory 8 round.
Yes, people, nice one for coming back to the Fuse UK. It's much appreciated as always. We're going to start a new series that's called The Road to Marbella. All the fighters that are fighting on the main card, we're going to be reviewing their journey that's led them up to BKFC Marbella in Spain. The first fighter that we are going to be reviewing is the man himself,
Danny the Bastard Christie!
and what a journey it's been for this man. We'll take it right back to the start when he had his first bare knuckle fight in public against Dekahegi. The lads never got on at all. Danny Christie ended up arranging a fight with him. Danny was half the man he is now. He was in a very bad place. He was active in addiction. He was half the size of the man he was going to fight. And he went down, him and Paul Venice on their own, went down and met them all in the gym. And in my opinion, Danny absolutely busted him right up, giving one of the nastiest scars I've ever seen on someone's mask. It was a big Harry Potter scar right down his face. And I definitely thought he got the better of him in that fight. 100% I did. And then from that, he ended up getting a great opportunity to fight at Wembley on BKFC 27, Michael Venom Page versus Mike Perry. He got a fight. He was going into this fight an underdog as well, versus an MMA world champion, an MMA veteran in Terry Brazier. And what a fight this was as well. Another bloodbath. Both lads swinging it out from the first bell, landing shots, no steps back.
The bell, round number 1. Quick jab off of the scratch line from Danny Christie. He's in the white trunks, black trunks for Terry Brazier. Brazier now big to the body. Left hand, another left hand from Brazier.
And Danny Christie ended up landing a left hook that would have took the head of a horse.
This is when Brazier, I believe Chris has been doing his best work in this fight. And he's gone hard with that left hand on the turn and down. Ruled a knockdown correctly by Mike Belgrave. Caught in the ropes.
Brazier's still hurt. He's hurt bad right now. Christie needs to jump all over him right now if he has the ability to.
Brazier just took his mouthpiece out. Brazier says he wants to continue. Belgrave will let him. There's the jab from Christie. And that could be near. Big shot, says the left hand, the right hand. Mike Belgrave taking a really close look.
Got to put his hands up. He might want to jump in there right now because this isn't going to get any better.
Huge shot.
And then from there we went on to BKFC Newcastle, where he was meant to fight Jamie Jones on the Michael Terrell Panda Banks undercard. For some reason Jamie Jones didn't end up fighting, and Darren Godfrey, who fights he's fought in BKB, BKFC, he's now fighting on Power Slap, Dana White's Power Slap, ended up stepping in on like late notice and that, but Danny ended up getting him out of there very early.
Big left hand knockdown number 2. Godfrey slapping the canvas, taking the mandatory 8 count from Alan Jackson. We'll see how hard Christie goes now for the finish.
And Christie needs to jump all over the finish right now.
There's the answer, left hand, right hand, and I think we might be done.
You can just tell every time Christie lands a clean shot, Godfrey's going down.
By way of first round TKO.
After that, Danny got a shot at the BKFC UK title against the undefeated Anthony Holmes. Again, in this fight, Danny was going in as a massive underdog. Anthony Holmes was the man. He was mustard. He is a great fighter still to this day. And everything was going Anthony Holmes' way.
There's a lot of work trying to be done by Holmes right there. Christie doing a great job of blocking most of this at this point. A little bit of a headbutt right there, and then that came with a good right hand uppercut. That made Christie to say, okay, I got to cover up right now.
But he started to tire later on in the fight. and there's a shot on one of the fights where Danny's face is got a terrible cut above his eye. He's just rubbing the blood out of his eyes, and then Anthony Holmes just walks on. I think it's a straight right, just walks onto a lovely shot off Danny.
Christie wiping away the blood over the left and the right, lands the right hand, and down goes Anthony Holmes flat on his back.
Then he puts Anthony Holmes on the canvas. I don't think Holmes recovered from that shot, and then Danny just ended up putting the pressure on, and then just catching him and putting him down again.
He's got 2 cuts over his eyes.
Into the pocket comes Christie. Huge left hand from Danny Christie. Christie trying to finish this fight in round 4. A run hand. Left hand, big right hand.
Nice
left hand, knockdown number 2.
And Anthony Holmes couldn't make it to his feet. And then Danny Christie became the BKFC UK light heavyweight champion.
In the hand raise for the victor by way of 4th round knockout, Danny Christie.
Then from then, he got a massive fight with the American who's now world champion, Mr. Jared Captain Deadpool Warren. He came over to Leeds to fight Danny Christie, and it was a massive fight. I'm not just saying this because Jared Warren's a great fighter, by the way. Not taking anything away from his win, anything like that. But anybody who knows Danny and the people around him know he just wasn't himself that night at all.
20 remaining, round number 1 of our main event. We're in the light heavyweight division. Good left hand and the right hand, and down goes Danny Christie.
There's that left hand he talks about.
Everyone's seen it, but that was another fight that Jared Warren also proved his power and things. He's a great fighter, and that's why he's the world champion he is today. And then from then, we went on to David Round, who was at BKFC 60 in Milton Keynes. These two have been going back and forth for a while. The Gangster Prince of Wales, everybody knows what he's about. He's ruthless. He loves a pagger. He stands and bangs it out. Loves a war, loves a tear-up. And him and Danny finally got the fight over the line, and they fought for the title in Milton Keynes. From the get-go, it was trading shots. Danny ended up catching David Round, and how he got up from it, I do not know.
Exploding to the inside now, Danny Christie on the right hand, left hand. Back to the half tie, plum goes Round. He's landing clean. Left hand, huge left hand,
He's out.
and down goes David Round.
That was a nasty combination there. Caught him right on the button.
Marbella administering the mandatory 8 to Round.
Because snapped his head right back, sending him to the canvas. But David Round, being the man he is, he got back on his feet and wanted it. You literally have to nail him to the canvas or the referee has to stop it, and that's exactly how the fight went. And Danny got the win in that one.
We will continue. Huge right hand! Knockdown number 2.
I'm surprised he got up that quick. He's definitely got heart, but Danny's landing some nasty shots.
40 seconds remaining in round number 1. To the mid-range goes Danny Christie. Left hand, right hand. More big shots. Dan Marbella taking a really close look. Left hook lands. One-way traffic at the moment for Danny Christie. And we are done. Game, set, match, Danny Christie. Title defense number 1.
And then from then, we went to BKFC Prospect Series in Newcastle, the undercard of Paul Venice and Stanoy Tabakov. He fought Jimmy Justice Miller. The fight went good. Danny Christie landing an early knockdown against Jimmy Miller, because he's very slippery, Jimmy. He's got a very awkward style, he moves around well. And Danny ended up catching him with a few shots.
Christie from the orthodox stance. You see Millar in the southpaw stance, and knockdown number 1.
Danny got a couple of knockdowns in that fight, was the better man in the fight on the night, and ended up getting the judge's decision.
Danny the Bastard Christie.
And Danny Christie just keeps rolling.
And then look at us now. Look at Danny Christie now, fighting on the big stage, the biggest event ever to hit BKFC. BKFC 67 in Marbella. He is fighting David Mundell for the BKFC middleweight world title. And have you seen the card? We got Tony Soto, Franco Tenaglia for the world title. Austin Trout, Rico Franco for the world title. Dan Chapman, Hannah Rankin, James Lilly, all these fighting on the undercard. What a show this is going to be. You got all the artists performing: Kodak Black, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Dizzy Rascal, Exhibit. What a show. And it's in a bull ring, a bullfighting arena. This is going to be an awesome fight, and it's not an easy fight for Danny, but it's a fight he can definitely win. David Mundella's no pushover. His record speaks for itself. The only loss he has had is against UFC vet Hector Lombard, and it was one of the closest fights. Some people would maybe say Dave Mundell could have won that fight. It's going to be a huge, huge fight. The UK need to get behind Danny, support him, because this is massive for UK fighting scene. Don't miss it, people. BKFC 67, October 12th. Danny the Bastard Christie takes on Dave Redneck Mundell for the BKFC middleweight world title. Let's go!